Hello everybody, I'm Chase Norton with Chase Life, and this is another episode of Gear Review. Today we're going to be looking at and reviewing the Evernew 600 milliliter wide pot with the Trail Design T-Tri Sidewinder cook setup. And at the same time, I have a friend who just got their Evernew 900 milliliter, same exact setup, but just 900 milliliters. So we're looking at the T-Tri Sidewinder from Trail Designs, just in a bigger pot. So I figured why not just do both reviews now. That way you can see, some people like the smaller one, some people like the bigger one. To start off with, let's just look. I have a little bit more in here. I have a 1 ounce knife and an extra ISBIT tablet. Let's just go ahead and look. This comes out, total cook setup, 7.6 ounces. And having already looked at this before, I know that this comes out to exactly the same at 7.6 ounces. So even though I have an extra knife in here and an extra ISBIT tablet, you're really looking at only about 1.5 ounces difference between the two setups. So really, if 300 more milliliters makes a difference to you, if you're vegan, if you're vegetarian, maybe this might be the better way to go, or if you're going with multiple people. But for now, let's get into it and kind of see what we got here. This is my cook setup that I take with me everywhere, and it's something that I really live by. I have it in a Z-Packs Cuban fiber stuff sack. I love these. Shin is strong and durable, but as you can see, also really lightweight. So anyways, this is the 600 milliliter Evernew pot. Inside we have, this is the Trail Design T-Tri, designed for the Sidewinder, designed to fit inside of a wide pot like this one. It's covered or protected in a tie-back sleeve. I've heard kind of reviews saying they don't know if the tie-back sleeve is going to hold. There's kind of these debates on how best to fold up your T-Tri, and I can tell you after about a year of using this, really ruggedly, it's held up fine. So let's go ahead and look at the titanium foil. So this is the titanium foil. This will be the windscreen, the pot support, and will be kind of the main cook setup. So all you do is you take it and you attach these two things here, slide it in. So now you have connected. This is made by the cottage company Trail Designs. This is design cut for this pot and this pot only. It will fit to this brim so that the pot stays here and is supported in here. It can fit no other pot, or at least it's not designed to. So that's another one of the beauties of dealing with cottage companies, is you really get this kind of custom manufacturing or custom made things. This is my ISBIT stove. It is just 2 pieces of titanium foil that have been folded so that you can set the ISBIT on top of it. Makes it a lot easier when you're dealing with wet ground and things like that. So often this would just go right into the center here. Inside of this, I have 3. This would be 3 days worth of fuel for me at 1.5 ounces or 0.5 ounces per cube of ISBIT. This is my preferred fuel of choice, and but also with Trail Designs, it comes with an alcohol stove that is designed and manufactured for this exact kind of setup. They say it's optimized for this setup. I don't know how optimized it is, but it works really well. And so that also comes in the package that you're buying. Something to consider. Also, since this is titanium, you can create a fire in here. So that's why they call it the T-Tri, because you can have 3 different kinds of fuel, the ISBIT, the alcohol, and making a fire in it. They do have an aluminum version that is about $30 cheaper, I believe, but you can't make a fire in it. And so it can't withstand the heat of a fire inside of it, so you can only have 2 kinds of fuel. So something to consider. But if you don't think you're going to be making fire as your fuel source, maybe that's the way to go. If you think it will, maybe the titanium version is the way to go. So normally I would break this open. I don't want to waste it right now, but you would break it open, just set it right on top of there. We light it on fire. I have 2 preferred methods of lighting it on fire. Often I carry with me a little eyedropper filled with rubbing alcohol. A couple drops on that, light it on fire, and it's good to go, and it'll stay lit. Another way is you just scratch off either with your fingernail or maybe a penny or whatever you have on you, a little bit of like Isbit dust, and you light that on fire and it gets the Isbit going great. So 2 easy ways to get it going. I've heard a lot of people complain about Isbit not being easy to get started. Those are 2 solutions to it. In here I also have a spork that I've broken the end off of. You really don't need the extra bit or the extra end here. And I guess maybe if you're cooking in a big bag, you can always get a stick that's on the ground and put it on here and then put a little tape around it, and then you have a full-length spork if you need it. But this works great for everything that I eat and everything that I know of. For me, like I said, I have a little knife in here. Knives really aren't that, you don't really need them, they're not that important, but sometimes I do find them useful. I have taken off the little safety on here, as well as the clip, trying to remove some of the weight. It is titanium, but sometimes when I'm really trying to go super ultra lightweight, I will leave this at home because it is kind of a luxury, definitely not always needed. Last item in here came with my Snow Peak 600 milliliter mug, and single walled. And so often with it you would burn your lips whenever you're drinking coffee, so they came out with this, which is called the Hot Lips. And what I use it for is, not only is this my cook pot, but this is also my cup, my drinking mug. When I make coffee in the morning, I drink it right out of here. And so you just simply attach the silicone little piece on there, and now you can drink it, not burn your lips. Incredible little piece for very little weight. Goes with me everywhere. So here we go. You have your handles here also. It normally comes with rubber on the handles, trying to insulate them, I think. Through time, these will burn off. The rubber will, the handles will not. That's okay, it's gonna happen, especially if you make fires in here. They're gonna burn off. But what you do is you light the Isbit, or whatever fuel source you have. Simply put your pot on there, it's now supported, it's not going anywhere. Wind, it's blocked, but also still allows airflow for, creating the needed oxygen for the combustion. And now you have yourself your setup. Now looking at my friends, we'll kind of go through this quickly since this is really just showing the same thing but at a 900 milliliter. You're now looking at a little bit larger. Again, great for maybe 2 people or somebody that doesn't eat a lot of meat and needs to kind of cook up a lot of pasta or what have you. So in here she has 2 Isbit tablets, so what would be 2 days worth of fuel for me. Inside here, also this is another thing that I love. If you ever get one of these, put everything you have inside of your titanium foil sheet. It allows everything to fit in even better. So just a little tip there. This is her Isbit stove that came with it. This is her spork that she has. It's a titanium spork that folds so it can go into a wide pot just like this one. Me personally, I would take off this little extra part that she has, but if you're going to be cooking in something like those Mountain House bags or whatever and you want a little bit longer, definitely this is very handy to not get your hands all dirty. So then at the bottom here she has a little piece of titanium foil. This piece of titanium foil, as we'll see, often will sit on the ground here. This is great for when you have like wet ground or wet grass and you're trying to put Isbit on it. This will protect it so that you don't get your Isbit wet. Same thing, a Tyvek sleeve. Now this sheet is going to be a little bit bigger, as you can see, to fit this exact pot. We're going to fit it together just like we did the other one. Let's set it down on top of the titanium foil sheet or ground sheet. And we would put the Isbit stove in there, put the Isbit on top of it, simulate lighting it, and then we would slide that right on. And there you go. Now we have the 900, the 600, both great pots. Just depends on really how you cook and what you eat. And I think that's something that you have to decide. So one of the reasons that I'm trying to review this gear or this piece of gear, first off, I love it. comes with me everywhere. The 600 does. Even the 900 is great. But it's to think outside of the norm. Most people, when they think of a stove, they think of those heavy canister stoves. Those have a place if you're going for a lot of days. Or one time I saw a friend that was, him and his wife were cooking, and they're both vegan, and they were trying to cook this very big pot. That's not when you want an Isbit. That's when you want a canister stove. But if you're going solo, or you're going where you know really what you're cooking and you understand your gear, these can really lighten the load. And this is a great alternative to those canister stoves. You can really regulate your fuel source. You can know, all right, I use 1 of these a day. I need 9 of these for a 9-day trip. It's that easy. Unlike a canister where you really don't know how much is in it. So there's a lot of advantages to going this way. So with that, I'd like to thank you for listening and hope to see you at the next episode.